Duke played a great basketball game today. They put a ton of pressure on us from the get-go. Evans got him off to a great start. Got free a couple of times, and he's just an elite, playmaker, shooter. Not certainly by no means a wild card for them. Somebody that they count on, each and every game, and he did a great job. Then Boozer, over the course of the first half, began to make his presence felt. Our doubles were way too slow, not there on time. We had a couple that were okay, but we were just a little bit too hesitant to get there to him. And he made some really good plays, getting to the rim and getting fouled. Our discipline was not there overall, in terms of fouling him and getting getting to the line. I thought their guards did a great job, of applying pressure, to our guards without getting beat. Off the bounce regularly. They did a great job of just keeping us in front of them. And when we did get in there was help. And you have to make shots, when you get in that situation. When the ball's kicked back out, we had some open ones that did not go down that maybe would have given us a little bit more confidence. But in a situation like we were in today, when you're kind of playing from behind, it gets harder and harder and harder. And they did a really good job of just playing consistent basketball throughout the 40 minutes. So you have to give them a ton of credit.
Jeff, then David, and then Mike.
Were your guys, in general, getting looks you were happy with and just missing shots that they normally make? Or was Duke's defense?
No, I think it was probably a bit of both. I mean, it was probably more their defense was better. But we did have some that, when you're wide open and you don't knock it down, that hurts even more because they're going to get you to the end of the clock and a lot of the other ones. And so it just puts that much more pressure on the open shot.
David.
Right, and that would go 35 of your 55 shots
Mm-hmm.
are from beyond the arc. Shot selection, optimally?
No, I think it's their defense. I mean, I think their defense is really good, and they did a nice job of getting out and protecting their paint. And, our guys certainly, we encouraged our guys to let it go. When you're playing a team like this, that does such a good job of protecting the twos, you're going to have to make some threes in order to have a really, really good chance. If you can get to the free throw line and have a good balance, of the two, then you have a chance.
Mike, then Aaron, and then Greg.
Ryan, sticking with that, against State on Tuesday, you guys had the length, the size, positionally, it really gave them trouble finding space. Duke looked like they had the size and
Yeah,
advantage.
they were bigger.
How much did that factor into it?
Yeah, I mean, I think they were bigger at most spots, especially when we play, Chance, Jakari, and, Dallin together. We get a little bit smaller, but, they're really good. They're where they are at this particular point in the season for a reason, and we're where we are. We don't need to cry about, being 25-4. At this point, we got beat today, and we've got to go back, and we've got 2 more games left, and we got to get ready for those to finish strong.
Okay, Aaron.
Ryan, I wanted to ask, when you said where they are, John Shire's brought the roster along, and a lot of change from last year. I mean, like you guys, but I'm curious what your thoughts are about the work he's done and like what you're seeing now on the court as they're going into.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a great job since he took over. There's no more pressure situation than what he's been thrust into, and he and his staff have done a fabulous job, of following a legend, and obviously he knows the inner workings of this place, better than anybody, and he's just done a magnificent job in this particular year. His team is well balanced. They know who they are on offense. They know who they are on defense. They're a typical tough-minded Duke basketball team that's going to rebound and pressure the ball and be kind of in your grill. And offensively, they're very patient, and they know where the ball needs to go on most possessions. And so, that's a credit to Coach Shire and his staff.
Greg, and then Jack in the back.
Yeah, after seeing the #1 team in the country, what kind of just lessons can you draw from this in case you see them again in Charlotte or see a team of that caliber?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the first time I've ever lost a game by a significant margin. We lost to Albany one time. I was telling the team after the game, it was like 80-some to 40-something. And, that team went on to do something pretty special. And so I'm not worried about one game. I'm worried about, the mindset of our team And we can't lose our confidence because we just lost to a really good basketball team. We've got to get back, to work and get ready to play and get ready to compete, in our conference, which we know every night, is going to be a tough matchup. And Wake Forest is going to come to JPJ ready to play.
Two more, Jack and then Amy.
Coach, just, how do you bounce back and get Wake Forest and Virginia Tech left, and then, like Greg said, the most important time of the season coming up?
Yeah, I mean, we do it every game. Celebrate, tolerate. We're going to celebrate the things that we did really well. We're going to not tolerate the things that we didn't, and try to move those tolerate things to the celebrate side. And we just try to learn, from the game and the performance. And there's probably a 5 to 7 minute stretch in there where we might be able to learn some things about ourselves. But all in all, we did not play well enough to be extremely competitive in this game.
Last one, Amy.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about mindset before. What was your message to the team coming into an environment like this, and how do you think their focus, did they sustain their focus throughout the 40 minutes? Did you see, morale drop? What was the kind of message to the team?
Yeah, I mean, naturally, you're going to take punches. This is a competitive sport. And, we punch people, they punch us. They punched us a lot more than we punched them today. And that's what it is. And so you got to cover yourself. You got to make sure you're not getting hit as much, and you move on to the next thing. And, our guys have been really, they've been excellent at doing that, all year. We've been in some tight situations, and they've found ways to win games. And so I'm really confident in this group and the leadership that we have, the connectivity that we have within the locker room, the connection between the coaches and the players is really strong. And so you have a chance for success, when you do that. And so we're not going to lose our confidence, because of one game, but we are going to learn from it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Love test.